Every time I see that intro, I just want to go, no means no, and yes means no. I just want to do that. It's so bad. I know that's at the end of, even when I changed that intro and people lost their minds and got mad and said, where's the whole intro? We want to hear you say no means no and yes means no. And I had to go back to this one. So, yeah. No means no, and yes means no. Yeah. So, there's that. What's going on, guys?
Crack is crack and crack is crack.
Oh,
Yeah. Which is whack, according to Whitney. What's going
yes.
on?
That's what she has said. That is what she has said.
Let me drink my water.
Hey,
What's up,
they-
people?
y'all know I'm really enjoying our weekly sit downs and sit-ins with the insecures of the world, and yeah, we here for it. I mean, we are now on season 5, episode 4, and we dealt last episode with Coca-Cola Polar Bear and Lawrence, you know, and all that they had going on. Dear God. And we're back to East. The title of this one was Faulty. Okay. Hey Tracy. And so we're faulty for fault lines and earthquakes and all of this stuff that happened in this episode. And there was a lot of underlining issues and situations and undertones of a lot of stuff in this episode that
Mm.
really took us in a lot of different directions. There was of course the humor there as always, but it really took us a lot of places. And yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. How would you rate this episode if you were rating as a teacher, as Mia really be does? A B C D F.
I would would say B. I think this took us back to our roots. I feel like this was classic Insecure. We saw Issa at the height of her awkward black girl moments. Um, I think we saw a more confident, but back to her roots kind of Molly. You know, definitely not as pressed about men, but definitely in touch with her. Which one is going home with me tonight? You know what I'm saying? And Kelly never gets it wrong. Kelly never gets it wrong. So I was
Mhm.
here for it. I was definitely here for it.
I mean, it helps to never get it wrong if you're the head writer of the show. I mean,
Okay.
you are the head writer. Hey, Miss Adams.
Hey to the chat, Shondo.
Um, well, how would you grade it, Darren?
Hmm. I give it a high C. 79.
Ah, ah.
This is definitely better than what we've been getting. I want that plot. We need to get into this plot, but I understand Insecure is like, it's kind of all over the place. You get what I'm saying? So this is a good start, and this is we getting into the season because now we know what's going on with people. I love seeing Issa and her quirkiness. I wanted to see Tiffany, but I guess Tiffany wouldn't be
I don't want to see that horror.
entangled in this venture.
Character Tiffany, the character.
The character, not old girl.
I know. I'm moment. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
No, but yeah, this is pretty good.
I'm gonna say this, and I want to say it now because I don't want to forget, but we could put a pin in it. And I might have said this last week, but I don't remember honestly. Remember when we saw the episode with Collender and Lawrence, and we were talking about the birthday party, and I was saying how I absolutely believe that Issa went to that birthday party, but they just didn't show it to us yet, and we're going to get a flashback. I think that situation with Nathan last week when she broke down crying and she was like, "I thought I was ready." I'd be willing to bet a little bit of change that happened after the birthday party, and she saw Lawrence with
You
Condoleezza.
know what? That would make sense. That
Because we know the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because
I'm wondering if that's when that happened. I don't know this to be a fact,
that
y'all.
might make sense
But I'm
because
just saying.
Lisa seeing Lawrence with carrot cake
Right.
and
And
the
that would
baby,
also, I feel like
and
maybe be hastening her to running into Nathan's arms, like
Mhm.
he done moved on. Because remember, they showed up at the party looking like the happy family. Nobody really
so
knew.
did
And especially if Issa left before they had that whole situation with the damn carrot,
exactly because
they looked like they were living their best life.
he had the little baby strap on
Right,
thing
right.
going,
He
and
had
they
baby,
came
baby,
just
baby
out.
born and all of that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I just thought about that when I was looking at the episode. I said, I wonder if her breaking down and crying was a result of her seeing Lawrence at the damn party with the baby. I'm just wondering. Put that a pin in it. We could come back to it. We could put it, but I'm just wondering.
That might be it.
It might be it, yeah.
I give the episode. I'm with Darren. I give it a high C, a C plus. I'm a C plus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would give it a 79, but I give it a 77, C plus. Get this good 77. C plus. I'm a hard teacher. My grading is hard. Listen, my no, they do backflips and somersaults when I say it wasn't bad. That's like one of my highest praises that I give in the class. But I say that wasn't bad. That's like that's like super excellent, exuberant, all of that wrapped up in what. That's my highest praise. That wasn't bad. So they have their expectations are there for me. So I'm good. It wasn't bad. So we start off with Nathan and his friends and his band of merry men. And how y'all feel about his friends? What did that tell you? Because we finally got to get a small glimpse into the world of Nathan. And we see, not that Tracy called this woman collagen. You know what? Ow!
Wait a minute.
What did you call that woman collagen? Hey, wait, and call her cauliflower pizza.
Wait.
Baby said cauliflower pizza. I'm not doing this, Michelle.
See, y'all, there y'all go. You
We
started
did do that last week.
You started this one tonight. Now I started it the first time, but you started it tonight.
Mm.
Started it
Last
tonight.
week, that woman with every name under the sun. Shouts out to the chat. Shouts out to the chat.
The
But
chat is reckless. Okay, let me tell you.
mm,
Y'all are a mess. That's what y'all are.
Hey, it's
so
me, D. This so how
Hey
you?
D, hey nephew. Mwah.
so we got a glimpse of him and his friends. And what did y'all think about his friends? He had the fat guy friend,
Uh huh.
and then there was the other two cute ones. I don't know their names.
Did the family
Yeah.
remind you of Phase on Love? Because he
He did.
absolutely.
I just wanted him to say "big worm."
I was like, is that his son or something? Because he even
No, the thing about it is though, I know him. I don't know him personally, but I know him from social media. He's like a social media comedian. So when I seen him, I'm like,
Oh,
okay, okay. Started from the bottom. Like I know that's right. Now you in movies.
okay. I
okay.
ain't. Well, what's his name on social media? Because we could go look him up. Because he seemed like he was genuinely really funny.
I don't remember his
He
name.
was because
I
when
used
he
to follow him
said
on Facebook, but I
when
remember
they
his
was putting
face.
that damn Aveeno lotion on, and he talking about some. He ain't putting it on his back, but he talking about some. But I'm facing the sun this way though. I
Right.
said, sir,
Listen, I really enjoyed his friends. I
Mhm.
like. He didn't give me up front that this would be the cast of characters that he would commune with. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
mm-hmm.
And so when I saw his friends, I was like, okay, like it kind of made him cuter to me because it made
Yeah.
him more, round away boy to me, and not
Yeah,
so,
because they weren't pretentious. Like they were straight. They were
right.
homies. And
They
Mhm.
were
even
real
even
regular.
when they were right, and even when they were kind of giving him some advice or whatever, I feel like it was he was listening to them. He was taking in what they were saying. Like you, I definitely didn't feel like these were like his flunkies. Like these were legit friends, and they had a
Mhm.
legit friendship. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I
Because
like
even
how
when
the
they told
two.
him, you do give off the vibe that a woman could cry on you. When they told him that, I
Right.
was like,
I like how the two were like kind of fighting over Molly too. Like they were trying
That
to
was
get.
funny.
It was
mhm.
cute. Like I was like, and I love seeing Molly in that space.
And for the
But that's her
record,
thing.
I agree with Kelly. We do not brag about a size 9. That's not what we do. Mm-mm.
Aside now, what shoe or penis?
Yeah, remember when one boy was like, I wear size 14, and the other dude was like, I got a size 9, and Kelly was like, You bragging about that?
Oh,
I'm just saying, I'm with Kelly. We don't brag on the size 9.
You don't run about size 14 shoe either. Not walk around with them boats or whatever.
not with
Listen,
them boats,
listen.
honey.
It translates to other things. That's all I'm
It
saying.
Oh,
does not. It absolutely, as a penis connoisseur, it
Oh
absolutely
Lord.
does not. It,
I'm saying, but what I'm saying is based on that mindset. Based on
oh, okay.
that mindset is what I'm
I
saying.
guess for women, it's like a big thing, but when you know penis is
It's
like
not a
people,
big thing for me at all. I'm a
you
virgin.
got okay,
I
you got
don't
big
care about
socks.
none of those
That's
things.
You have big socks. That's it.
Yeah.
okay.
I'm a
Well.
virgin. I don't care about any of those things.
Right. So am I then. If you could be a virgin, I can too.
And on that note,
What the funniest moment to me of the
uh,
whole episode was when they were at the beach and dude brought them goddamn pizzas and that goddamn pizza fell
And he
and he
picked it
picked
up.
that shit up off the sand and started brushing it off.
no,
It was
And then
like,
got in the water with it. So you, sir, you are standing in the water after a whole earthquake with sand pizza. Hold on, y'all. I gotta take this call. Hold on.
I was looking at dude like, hello. If you know
yeah.
anything about the beach, there's no brushing beach sand off nothing. You can't even brush beach sand off your goddamn skin.
And why are we eating? Why are we eating at the beach? Like I don't do that. And maybe that's a West Coast thing.
Well, no, that's the East Coast thing. When we go to the beach, you do eat. But I was with Nathan. You eat hot dogs,
Right.
hamburgers. That's what you eat at the beach. You not bringing boxes of pizza to
Mm-hmm.
the goddamn beach.
And it's windy and stuff, and sometimes the waves will come up. I remember one time I ate one time at the beach. I ain't gonna lie. That's because I was with people. I'm like, because usually I was like, why don't we go to the boardwalk? This damn wave came up, almost got our food. I'm like, this is why I don't eat on the beach. What was going on? Now my thing is, what was this event? Like, was this like a thing where they had to run out of space in the beach, or was
I
this?
was confused about that as well because remember they walked up to that tent with all of
Mhm.
the liquor and stuff, and I was like, "Is he hosting an event for the whole beach? Go ahead, really be."
Yeah.
It's the 1 year anniversary of Nathan's shot. Remember in the episode last week when she was talking to Nathan and they were talking about where to have it, and
Hmm.
she was like, you think the space at the shop is a little small? I think you've outgrown having a party here. Let's look at some other venues. Remember when the dude was like, well, we can have it in the parking lot. Um,
Right. Right. Right.
but then you got to buy something or something like that. So or something like he said you got to park cars or something. Remember he was saying. So that's what it was. If you saw the sign at the beginning, it was Nathan's barbershop. So it was the 1 year anniversary for his shop.
Okay,
I
but
was like,
everybody at that
he
beach was
popular.
one year anniversary. I know
Yeah,
that.
I mean they just got there early and staked out a spot at the beach. You know, it's a public
Okay,
beach. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mm. All
okay.
right.
Oh, child, sorry about that, y'all. I had to freshen up my drink.
Bet you
I
did.
know that's right. I cannot wait till I go back home for the Thanksgivings.
Little baby said I hate beach sand. Is what other sand is there, little baby?
I mean, you can have sand at the lake.
Okay.
Sand is sand, sir.
Yeah, sand is sand. Okay.
Sand
Uh,
gets the same sand at the lake do the same thing as the sand at the beach. It gets
there's
in
so
there
much
and
energy
stays.
at the beach. You got to walk and then walk all that. Oh,
Man,
Lord.
when you walk through this, listen, walking through that sand at the beach ain't no joke.
Murder.
It is no joke. Okay,
It
it is
does
no
tire you
joke.
out. By the time you get through walking through beach sand, you sit down like, give me a moment.
Right.
That's
You
why
get to the
I
water. It's like,
respect
let me
people
sit
who can run
down.
on the beach. I mean, even though they're running on like the part that's already wet, baby, running on the beach because walking back to your car after you done ran two or
Exactly. You
three
got to know
miles,
it's
about a
time to
mile.
go back to your
Mm-mm.
car. When you walk back to your car, you got to say, wait a minute, it's almost time to go ahead and rest up because you know we got to carry all this shit back
Mm-hmm.
to the goddamn car. Oh, and you
Ooh,
start,
Lord.
oh, good God.
Little baby saying sand is not sand. Well, that is my experience. But anyway, go on, child. Go on. Sand is sand, honey. Sand is sand.
Okay.
Anyway, so Issa, when she got to the beach, her and Nathan were real awkward,
Mm-hmm.
real awkward. Like it was like, girl, but I was with Nathan on it. Like, what did you want him to do? How did you expect him to react? Like, you ain't really talk to him. You cried in this man's mouth, okay? Like,
It was weird.
It was weird, and I saw both sides of it. I saw it from Easter's side to say, well, I mean, I kind of didn't expect you to leave in the middle of the night, but I'm also coming from Nathan's side because I'm like, well, you're not my woman. I mean, you invited me to stay. I thought we was gonna have some good sex, and you started crying, and I didn't know what to do with that. Like, I didn't know what to do with your emotions. So I saw it from both sides. Like, I understood.
I ain't see it from Eastern side at all. Maybe that's just the whore in me. You invite me over your house, and I ain't been over your house in how long? And I got a hot piece of dick, and you invite me in the bed, and you know that, and you slobbing me down before we get in the bed, and then ceremoniously start crying.
Hmm.
Girl, I'm going home. Girl, I don't need this. We
What
need
was
to
up
go.
if we're going to the part where they ended up having to go to the bar? What was up with what's the name again? I forgot. I'm not good with names. The other friend, not Molly,
Kelly.
Kelly,
Kelly. She was crying out of nowhere. I was like, what's
Well,
going
they were
on?
having. Well, her and what's her name, Nessa. They were bonding over Kelly's
Hmm.
near death experience. And remember Nessa when the tsunami? I mean, when the earthquake came, and the guy was like, "We got to clear the beach because there may be a tsunami," and she was like, "Oh, I can't do that again. I almost died before."
her name
So
was
they
Risha.
bonded.
I call her Risha. My
Risha,
whole
I think her name is Risha. And she was so her and Kelly were bonding over Kelly's near death experience, aka they thought she was dead at the 10-year
No,
reunion down.
what it takes is if you follow Kelvin Sampson, the actor who plays Nathan, They put on his Instagram behind the scenes of them at that restaurant where they was dancing and chilling and kick back. They look like, listen, they look like they had a good ass time, all of them in that goddamn restaurant. And
Mm-hmm.
Kelly had this whole bubble around her. Everybody had their little masks on and shit. Kelly said, fuck that shit. This whore had a whole bubble. She was a bubble boy, but she was still in that dancing and shit. The bubble with him. I said, you know what?
Uh-huh.
A whole lot, man. A whole lot. So we had Issa and Nathan just were real awkward. And the earthquake happened. The friend bought the pizza, and then the friend decided that he you know, was gonna eat his pizza instead in the middle of the goddamn water, waiting for this tsunami to happen. I guess so. I don't know. Boy was waiting for the inevitable. Like, what was that movie, Deep Impact, where the mom and dad went and died on the beach and waited for the tsunami to come and drown it? And that's just what I thought he was doing. Anyway,
I don't know, because I was like, and I don't believe that Nathan wasn't clear about what he wanted. Because he told me something. I said I was gonna bring food. I never said burgers, but I just don't believe that. I believe that you had specific instructions and you felt like as
Right.
long as I bring food, we good.
and let's be clear,
I,
bringing hot dogs and hamburgers would have been much cheaper than bringing all them goddamn boxes of pizza.
because you
And
know the
somebody
thing
knows
what?
how to follow the budget. If you tell me all I gotta bring is hot dogs and hamburgers, baby, I'm going to Walmart and get this $5 pack of hot dogs. That's
Okay.
gonna give me about 50 of the mugs.
Yeah, well, not right. Look.
Hamburgers and get 50
Okay.
of them.
Because your
$25
money definitely goes further buying some hot dogs and hamburgers than buying a bunch of pizzas. Okay.
Uh-huh.
with
I feel like this whole
$25.
thing was kind of unorganized because but that's like insecure fashion. Like everything's things
Well, and
don't
that's
work out.
also, I mean, don't yell at me when I say this, but that's also a man thing. Like we just gonna throw some burgers on the grill. Who bringing the grill? Who bringing the burgers?
See, people ain't feel like cooking.
Right.
That's what it was, and that's how I
And
mean.
Nathan had all that mustard. And Nathan had all that mustard.
Look,
I can pay $25 to feed 75 people while y'all playing. Okay.
Okay.
Well, hot dogs and hamburger, $25. Girl, we in there. Girl.
that's all charging people by the burger. Look,
Not charging about the burger though.
Listen,
okay,
I know somewhere that can give me a whole case of chicken for $20, and I can get them to cut them chicken quarters into 2 parts a piece, and I can feed at least, if everybody get 1 part, that's 75 to 100 people right there. Girl, what you talking
Listen,
about?
we ain't even got to get fancy. Just go get you a bunch of burgers, a bunch of burgers and hot dogs and some bread. Like you ain't even got to get fancy. Get you the Costco size mustard relish and
Trying to tell you,
ketchup. And
hmm
listen, we can make it work. We can make it
you
happen.
can make it happen. Because I guarantee you, you saw how many pieces he had. He spent at least $50 to $75 on that
He
amount of,
spent more than that, unless he had a good ass coupon.
unless
He
he
had
went to
about
like
10
Little
pizzas.
Caesar, unless he went to like Little Caesars or something like that. That's
no, he
about
went to
10
somebody's
pieces.
personal business. That's what $12 a pie.
Right. You
Yeah,
spent
he
Yeah,
spent.
all that
Listen,
money.
many a time back in the day, me and my friends put together. We had about $5 each, and we ran down to that grocery store and
Mhm.
we picked up some hot dogs, some hamburgers, some
Yes,
chips,
God.
and we ate the whole night. Okay,
okay.
maybe picked up a bag of cookies.
Listen,
Listen,
Mhm.
man.
if you have been in college, you know how to ball on a budget.
That's what I'm
And
saying. It was a good time had by all, honey. By the time we got done.
have you a bottle to go along with it. Man, right up.
They got them little wine coolers. Wait a
Now it
minute,
was
Make
the cheap
sure you
stuff.
got a
It was
bottle
the cheap
straight.
stuff, but we had it.
they had them cooladas in there. I'm like, now, not the 3%ers.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna lie. Look, I was drinking them things all last summer, child. Look, so I know exactly what brand that was. I was like, they got them cooladas up in here.
Not the cooladas. Listen, but it was definitely awkward, and I just think I just think Issa still hasn't figured it out. I don't know.
Mm.
Because I still, again, if I'm going with my theory that I just came up with, then I think that Issa is now looking at Nathan because she's finally accepted the fact that Lawrence is not available.
Yeah.
But Issa to me, and I will maintain, Issa is toxic as fuck to me. She is toxic to me. If I'm somebody who's dated her in the past, I want no parts of her again. Now, if I don't know
Well,
Issa,
wait a minute. The men ain't that, listen, the men got some shit with them too.
Okay.
Let's be clear. For the exception of the dude in the studio that she cheated on Lawrence with, Issa has made some, these men ain't, they got some shit with them too.
Okay.
what
Let's
Nathan
not
and
remember when we met Lawrence asked for sleeping on the couch 6 hours a day. I mean, 12 hours a day and working down to the Best Buy for 4 hours a week. Okay. And she was paying all the bills and he was
what
working
did
on his
Nathan
app.
do? I'm
He
gonna
was
wait
working
for
on
you to
his
tell me
app.
how
Okay.
what Nathan did to Issa.
Nathan got a little bit of he
Nathan
got
ghosted. Remember, Nathan disappeared
yeah.
on Issa.
He did what?
He ghosted her. He disappeared. He was
Did he
gone.
go? Yeah, that's right. He did. He ghosted her,
He moved back to he went
and
back
he
to
don't
But
Houston
I
and
revisit
would
him.
everything.
know. But if you remember, the ghosting that just didn't happen for nothing. It was after Issa and her fuck shit.
No, that's not true. That's not. He just literally disappeared on her.
For a whole month. Somebody just said in the comments.
Right. He literally disappeared. She was calling him. He wasn't answering. All of that. No, no, no. Nathan. But granted, he was dealing with mental illness. But he never. She didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, they were good, and he just was gone.
Communication skills was not good with him. Like even now, when we this information that we found out about him, we'll get into it. But like he don't indulge in certain information, and now
Right, because yeah, we'll get into that too. Because
yeah,
yeah, we'll get into that. So yeah, no, I disagree. I don't. You making it seem like all of this is on Issa. I think all of them
everybody
have
know
made
Angela.
some. I mean, hell, all of them got some toxicity to their asses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody do got some toxicity.
Because we know Molly
Even
ain't got
though
it all.
I'll take Lawrence and all of his toxicity. I just need another episode of him being naked and them giving us a gratuitous ass shot
Uh-uh.
Nate of Lawrence. You
I
know
feel
they
like they were better the last couple seasons because I feel like now it was like, oh well, we done showed you all of Lawrence.
I just want the meat to hang out at least one time. Let me get just let it hang out and flop around.
Um,
Just let it flop around a little bit. Just
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
his white wife not gonna.
HBO Max, look, I've seen some peen on HBO Max now.
Yeah, HBO don't mind showing the peen now. Don't act like it's beneath HBO. They show a peen. They will show a peen. I just think his white wife don't want y'all to see his black peen.
Oh, now
Why does it have to?
I cannot.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So we get to the restaurant. Let's go to the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the two dudes. All right, let's get to Molly and the two dudes. Why this dude told Molly he need to go to the house and take care of his cat?
Take his
I
cat
was with
out.
Molly.
Take your cat
Molly
out of
like,
what?
you worried about the wrong cat, honey.
And that's exactly what Molly said. You worried about the. And I could even see if he said, "Take out my dog," but take out my cat. Who does that?
Who takes out cats? Don't they use the
Even
bathroom in the house?
if he said, "Why don't you come with me to the house?" Even if he was using cold language, because I got to take care of this cat at my house. Why don't you come with me to the house to take care of this cat?
Right.
Or something. Let her be invited. Girl, you were supposed to be blowing her back out. I'm like, girl, that she was here. You knew she was here for it. Now, to me, that was the dude with the cat was the one I was here for. I was here for the other one.
Mm-hmm.
The other one who got them into the Jason Derulo party. That's the one who I was like, oh, that's who she should be with. Not Catboy. Not Catboy. I was here for Jason Derulo dude, not Catboy. Mm-mm. No God.
Like I said with that, I find it very interesting to see like Molly in this little triangle. Like, we never really do see Molly in that space. She's always on the lookout, trying to look for the man and her finding like, I will say this about these two guys, not to be a Kevin Samuels, you know what I'm saying, but like with your job, what you where you work at, what you do for a living. Cause I'm just trying to say, cause you know how Molly got her standards, and some things she might not be cool with, cause you know how Molly is.
But
But you know
I
what?
think. Go ahead, Elsa.
Go ahead, Billy. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but I think that's where we see the growth in Molly. She's
Mm-hmm.
just having a good time. She's just enjoying the moment. She's not looking for her husband. She's not looking for who gonna give her some churn. I think she's just out at the beach with her girls, having a good time, looking for a good fling. And
Okay.
I think that's the growth we see in Molly because I do think that's the old Molly. The old Molly will be looking at what is your credit score, how much money you make. Like the old Molly wouldn't have even been checking for none of them. Cause she'd have been like, "Oh no, they not on my level." The old Molly
Right.
would have
That's
never.
why I was surprised she was giving them the time of day.
But the thing
Right.
about it is, I think Molly needs to go into her own and understand that sometimes opposites attract. For example, myself, I'm a man of a lot of intellect, a lot of degrees or whatever, but dating and intimately and sexually, I don't want no parts of nobody who wants to, you know, spar with me intellectually and tell me how many degrees they got and all it. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Give me the polar opposite. I'm here for the blue collar worker. Baby
Because
just
there's
got
only
off
room for one
working out,
narcissist
give
in
me
a
lube
relationship. So
and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what gonna blow my back out probably better anyway. I be looking for the, oh, you know how to work with your hands? Oh, well, come on around here. Cause
Where the hood is
I
at?
can put
Okay.
that a little better. But I did like that Molly was not, being regular Molly. Like I
Mhm.
do think Molly, even though I think Molly, I think to a certain degree, these characters, in my estimation, are too old to still be fighting with and having some of these battles with themselves. Like some of the things that they're doing is like 20 somethings things. Like, when I'm in my mid to late 20s trying to figure it out in terms of what I like, what I don't like. But these are people in their mid 30s. And by that point, you like to think that you have figured, out what you go for or what works for you and worked out some of these things. That's just what I'm thinking in my brain. I'm thinking back to my mid 30s. But
yeah, but I think that's. But I mean, you go back to the name of the show, Insecure. Like I think that's why we're here because they
mm,
haven't figured it out because they are moving through. I
Yeah.
mean, look at where we found Issa and look at where Issa is now. Look at where we found Lawrence and look at where he is now. Like I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the growth. We're seeing that movement. Everybody doesn't get it and figure it out at the same pace.
Yeah.
hey, Jason, how are you? Jason says somebody say Jason. Hey, Jason,
Hey,
how are you?
Jason.
But okay, so let's go back to Issa and this girl who she thought was dating Nathan, who wanted no parts of dating Nathan. That's just her homeboy. And you know what? I've fallen victim to that where I've seen somebody who I'll give you a perfect example. I went somewhere with somebody and there was this dude and I asked my friend, it was a female. She knew the dude. And I was like, what you think about him? He giving me real, vibe, like my gaydar is going off. She was like, yeah, he and the guy, you go talk to him. And then he was all like up close, buddy, all like hugging up on some shit. And I was like, and I went back to my friend. I said, who is this whole? I thought you said he, is down for the get down. And she was like, he is. I was like, well, who the fuck is that? She was like, I
Yeah.
don't know who that is, but as far as I know, he get down for the get down, but I don't know. And I kind of was like real, and so I went and finally talked to him. And so I kind of come to find out that he wasn't. And I had to do one of those things myself where I went up to the chick. I saw the chick. We was at a picnic. We went to go get food together. I said, hey. And she said, I just threw it out there. I said, oh, you and your boyfriend real cute together. She was like, what boyfriend? I ain't got no boyfriend, girl. I'm single. What man? And she did the same. She was like, oh, who you talking about? I was like, you like who? She was like, oh, no, that's my bro. That's my friend. I love him. That is my friend. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, friend zone, real fast. I said, okay, no problem. I said, I ain't want to, She was like, nah, hell nah. She did one of those. So I knew it was like, okay, I could get in there. Needless to say, later that night, I was putting Oregon trails on the ceilings and did that. But
You
hey,
are such a
Hey,
hoe.
mm,
Lord Jesus. Okay. No, but it be like that.
but that is real. That is real. You be like, who is
Issa
this?
was a little pressed though. Like I was like, okay, you hounded Molly to ask if she trying to. I'm like, girl, we grown. You know, we you can ask. Are you messing? Are you guys? You know.
I love that Molly came right out. Hey, girl. She
Right. Molly was like, we ain't about to play this game all day.
played this.
Girl. Hey, girl. Like Molly, we ain't playing this. Molly said no,
Not
ma'am.
this what they play at this high school. What's that game where everyone told a secret?
Telephone. Is it telephone?
Telephone. Like let's nip it in the bud.
Be like, girl, do y'all date? Ew. Like, and you know that is like little baby say, when the girl be like, ew, you know, ain't nothing going on.
Mhm.
When the girl say ew, they
You
first
gotta
know.
watch that. You gotta watch that though, because you never know. Because people be acting.
People do be acting, but sometimes you might feel a certain way, but you know it's not going anywhere.
Mm.
Like if a girl laugh it off, I'm with you on that there. And she be like,
Like, what do you mean? Like, I
and she just
mean,
laugh. But when she immediately do the ew, I be
mhm.
like, okay. I
Okay.
understand. So yeah. But if she laugh it off, be like, yeah,
I don't know.
no
My
time.
eyes, my third eye is open with this one. I don't know. Something down the line might happen. I'm not even sure how I feel about how it
Ooh.
ended. This last, we'll get into it.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
Mhm.
well, yeah. Because Mama was looking cute now. She was a cute little chick. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Now,
Yeah. All right.
if I was into the cooter, she was a bad bitch now. She was. Listen,
Body, yaddy, yaddy.
she was. I ain't gonna
Body
lie.
yaddy 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 yaddy.
I ain't gonna lie. So we get to the restaurant and we meet his cousin and the wife. Then we meet them at the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Am I the only one that thought that Nathan had slept with the wife?
I thought
The
it
way they
was
kept looking
something
at
going
each
on.
other.
Yeah.
You wasn't the only one. 'Cause I was like, I was trying to figure out, like, I was like, what is this with the wife and everything? I was
They just
like,
looked real uncomfortable and they kept kind of giving each other looks. I was like, I said,
Hmm.
Nathan just smashed the homie. I
I'm
was
like,
like, oh my
the
God.
homie.
I mean, the wife. I was
The
just,
wife. I'm like, child. Oh,
child,
thank you so much. They said I had an audiobook voice, Jason.
I was like, what's up with the wife? Because it was real tension between him and that wife. Him and that wife was
mm-hmm.
like, and come to
Mm.
find out later, it wasn't the wife at all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, when we got the backstory, I was like, oh, okay then.
I mean, and this is what I'm talking about. We are finally getting plot from this character because he has held so much information from us,
Yeah, yeah, like we didn't know
and
anything
that's
about
what gives
it.
me red
So we
flags.
sit there and they start telling stories about, remember when you did such and such? Remember when
Mhm.
you did such and such? Remember when you did such and I think Issa was looking like, bitch.
Like, what's going
And
on?
and again, it lets you know, like you said, that Nathan is not the best communicator. Because here's my problem. One of my biggest problems, like with what Nathan was saying was, and I know I'm kind of jumping ahead, but you wanted them to see your growth. You wanted them to see how well you've done, but you didn't tell them you were ever diagnosed. You didn't tell them there was ever any sort of a diagnosis there. So
Mm,
what? So for me, from where I'm sitting, I still need you to have that conversation with them because they
Mm.
want because you can't expect them to move forward if they don't understand what it was. And yeah, it's great that you opened up a shop, you got a business and it's successful, but bro, are you still disappearing for weeks at a time? Are you still like walking out the house in the middle of the night and not telling nobody where you're going?
Keeping the
Like
door
those,
unlocked.
right? Like you can't expect people to get past it if they don't understand what it was. And I don't think that's because it's the same thing with Issa. He just disappeared and he just like Issa just happened to run. Remember, she ran into him at Coachella, and it was like, nigga,
well, and even, and I know we skipping and jumping, but even at the end when they decided that, okay, let's see where this goes, So
Boo! Boo! I'm sorry.
Where what goes?
I mean, she just booed me off my own channel. Like,
No, I was saying boo. I was saying boo to Nathan and Issa.
oh, I'm saying boo to it too because I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, we don't know if in 2 weeks he gonna fall off the grid again, and you not see him for another 3 or 4 weeks.
Well,
And
I'm
that's
saying boo because I still think that this is a knee jerk reaction. I still
but
don't
that's
think.
what I'm saying. Issa, you still have feelings for Lawrence.
Right,
You
that's what I'm saying. I'm
really
saying
is
boo
all,
because I
all
still don't
that.
think that this is real. I still don't think this is what Issa really wants. He's the
Exactly.
consolation prize.
Mm.
You couldn't even let this man stick his penis in your vagina. You still you still couldn't let this man blow your back out. How am I to believe that you're ready to be in a relationship with him and he can't even fuck you?
Well, time has went by. I think whatever Issa was going through at that moment, I don't think she's going through it now. So my thing is this: we know. I could just imagine later down the line, he'll like disappear or not communicate like he's supposed to, and then that'll cause Issa to do some, Issa shit, and it will mess up their relationship. Like I don't see it for them, and I'm not trying to sound like I hate or anything like that, but I just don't see it for this relationship. Like I want Issa to I want her to be single and figure things out.
I think Issa needs to be alone and lonely for a
Oh,
while.
well,
But she
well,
has been.
Good. Stay that way
How long is she supposed to be alone?
as long as necessary until you
Oh
figure
my.
she need Issa has a lot of things that she need to figure out in her own self, first of all.
hmm
Let's just to be clear. And I don't like her stringing Nathan around, you know, because she's still in love with Lauren, and now she's just looking for the next quick dick to jump on, literally, even though she won't jump on his after Lawrence, because he's already shown that he is mentally fragile. I'll
what
put it
is his diagnosis? What was it? What's going on?
Bipolar.
Okay, so
he
we knew this. We
right.
knew.
Yeah, no, and
Okay.
so with him being a whole mentally unstable, fragile, whatever you want to call it, you, Issa, are not even at the place with yourself mentally where and emotionally where you're ready to move on to the next person.
hmm
And you're introducing a whole person into your situation. Like, girl, just call it what it is. If Nathan got good dick and you want Nathan to fuck you down, then let him fuck you down. But you around here talking about getting a whole ass relationship with Nathan, and you knowing good and hell well that you're not in a situation where you need to be in a relationship with Nathan. Girl, you need to let that go.
mm It's only gonna get worse, and he got his issues, and it might fester. And it
Monica,
might.
I disagree. I don't think this is a whole year afterwards. I think
It is a year. It's a year.
is it a year? Oh, yeah, no,
This
this is a
this
year.
episode
I
picked up
think
after last week's.
this
Yeah,
episode picked
this
up
is a
after
year.
episode two. This
Yeah.
episode picked up after episode two. It was episode three that took
No,
us
picked up
back.
after episode after last week's episode because remember this is after the fashion show because remember Crenshaw is tweeting the whole
That was
time about
episode
her being
two.
a
That was
sellout.
episode two. That was
No,
episode
that
two.
was this
That was
episode
last week's episode.
where he was tweeting up a storm coming for her, which I felt like I'm like, sir,
No, no, no. That was this episode. But what I'm saying is
So what
this
was last week's
episode,
episode then?
the Lawrence.
episode three was the one
Oh, we on
with
episode 4. Okay, my
cornucopia.
bad, my bad, my
Yeah,
bad, my bad,
episode
my
three.
bad,
Episode three was cornucopia and Lawrence.
my bad.
But we went back. It wasn't a year then. We went back on episode three. Now, what about that whole Chris Sean thing with her? Because that was going on the entirety of that. Like that was overarching. I don't even know where that came from. I don't even know how that went because at the end of the day, Chris Sean, you got to do everything that you wanted to do in that show. So,
Easton need to confront his ass because no, that was some clown shit.
like, you were allowed to do everything you wanted to do in that show. Everything.
And you still mad.
but you still out here putting her out on Front Street, calling her, had a whole hashtag Easter fraud and all kinds of shit. I was like,
I feel like
Not
Issa.
to put you on.
So that situation is one of those situations where I feel like Issa did the best she could with what she was trying to accomplish. Because at the end of the day, yes, you want to stay true to the culture. Yes, you built this company with the idea of staying true, staying in the community and staying true to that. And I think you did that. But I also think that in any situation, this is always the struggle that people deal with when it's time for growth, right?
Mhm.
You want to stay true to your vision and into your where you wanted to where you started, but you also have to play the game, because if you don't have the individual money in order to make everything happen without anybody's sponsorship or anybody's outside support, then sometimes you just got to play the game, and it's a dirty game. And
Mhm.
everybody, I get it, but Crenshawn, you get to play the game. I mean, you get to stay true, because you don't have to deal with the repercussions. If that fashion show had fallen flat and it had been a total bust, he doesn't lose.
right,
Issa loses. And I don't think that, and so I understand, but I feel like that's that tightrope. So Issa is the middle person. She has to secure vendors and secure
Chris
sponsorship,
Shaw was
You're
wrong.
trying to please everybody.
right? To
He
please
was
everybody. And she said to him, listen, we got to do it this way this time, and next time I'll be able to, that'll put me in a better position, so next time I can say, y'all said he didn't have enough experience, y'all said this, y'all said that, we did it your way this that last time and it was a hit, so let us do it our way. Like, I feel like, so he was wrong, and for him to try to now turn it around like, oh, she's
right.
a sellout. Her tweet wasn't, I know she didn't mean to, I know that she didn't necessarily want that to go public, but she wasn't wrong with what she said when she was like, bruh, I gave you this platform. Like, I put you in this space. And like Molly said, nigga,
She
you
was
sold out your whole collection. You sold out your whole collection because of the venue because of an event that I helped secure with a major sponsor. Like,
Yeah.
she's not wrong. I'm sorry. I don't feel like she's wrong.
Ether was not wrong. Listen, Chris Shawn was wrong by every stretch of the imagination.
Right.
As
Mm.
fine as you are, as much as
Yeah.
we for you and your dark melanated chocolate, baby, you were wrong.
Right. Exactly, little baby. This
Loud
not
and
a
wrong.
hobby. This is a business. Like, Issa is trying to build a business.
And the thing about it is, I don't even see where your gripe comes in. You got everything you wanted.
Right. You got to do
Everything
everything you
you
wanted to
wanted,
do.
everything you wanted to do, you were able to do. You sold all of your whole catalog. You got the publicity. You got the money. We're like, what is the problem
Where
here?
did you lose? You didn't lose anything.
And I want now we go now this introduce. I wonder if he would have had this same smoke had Easter had a twig and berries.
Yeah, what? Oh. Oh.
I'm just being honest. Let's just be clear because you know how that goes. Where there's a man and there's a woman that puts this man on and gives him a platform, hey cams and stuff like that. And if
Hey,
Issa
Cam.
was was his name was Israel and not Issa, you know
Not
what I'm saying?
Israel.
Or Izzy, if it was Izzy and not Issa, would we be having the same conversation?
That's a fact, though. That's a valid conversation. That's a valid question.
Because I just the way that he was handling Issa and treating Issa with all of the tweets, that was out of line. That was way out of order.
Wait. Like,
Way out of order.
he didn't have to. He didn't. First of all, this is what this has to be like weeks. This is a year after, right?
No, it's just a week later. It's a
Oh, a
week later.
week. Okay, a week went by. You could have said all that day of. First of all, you did what you did your performance. You was able to do what you wanted to do.
I
Um,
mean, he literally had nothing to complain about.
No.
if Issa's not seeing him next episode, like, you better delete them tweets right now. You ain't look. Cause honey, just like
Like,
I got you that little gig, I can take it away, honey. Let's not talk about stopping bags. But look,
like what? Because Issa, and even now, Issa stands to take the biggest loss in all of this because Prince Sean has his name out there. He's got notoriety. So even if he's dropped by this company, another company or whomever sponsor or whatever could easily pick him up. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
Hmm.
Ethan stands to lose the most in all of this.
And I'm gonna take it a step further. I do agree that misogyny is a part of this, but I'm gonna take it a step further. If that company had gone directly to him and Issa wasn't the middle person, so this white man comes to you and says, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
this is what we're giving you. This is the platform we're going to give to you, but we just need to scale it back a little bit." Do you acquiesce to that white man, or are you giving Issa fever because she's a black woman?
Mm-hmm.
And
You
they
understand what I'm
sent Issa,
saying?
and they
That's
sent
a whole
Issa to the wolves because they could have said that to him. Like,
like we have different expectations for our own than we do for other
Yeah.
people.
Right. It's
mm-hmm.
it's like when they say it when you know and when a white man says, "Hey, I'm gonna give you this great opportunity, but we need you to do A, B, and C first." We real and when I'm making a general statement, y'all, before don't nobody jump on my back, but we real quick to acquiesce to that. But
Mm-hmm.
when it's coming from a black person, then it's about. I mean, it's the same mindset of when people go to a black business and always looking for a discount. We
Mm-hmm.
don't never walk into a white business and ask for a discount. We don't never ask for somebody to hook us up when we go to a white business. But when it's a black business, it's always, so I'm saying, can I get that? I mean, you gonna take some off? You gonna take some off of that? No, and it's that same mindset. So if
Mm-hmm.
that company had gone directly to Crenshaw and said, "Hey, we're going to sponsor your fashion show, but we kind of have a problem with A, B, and C," does he give them that same fever?
Mm.
Mm-mm. And now, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's probably not how it would have went down if
And
Issa.
Right.
I guarantee you, he ain't putting all them tweets out there afterwards because
Hell
when
no.
the entire legal team of that company would have come down on him, like, what are you doing, sir?
Now this could hurt his reputation just by saying all this shit.
And I
Right.
think this is a learning lesson for Issa to
Mm-hmm.
clean up her own work and what she does. Where if you do a business with somebody, sign this agreement that if and when we do this, you cannot be saying anything about me, the representatives of my company name and stuff like that. Like that's something that she's probably gonna need to think about doing as well. So that when she works with other people, she says, I'm here to help you, but be
Mm-hmm.
clear. Sign this good paperwork, because what we're not gonna do, boo, is have you sullying my name with your level brand of fuckery and fuck shit.
Okay. Because
That to
they had people talking, like people was believing him. Like it was.
that was a mess.
Yeah.
That was a whole
But
mess.
again, isn't that what we do? And again, when I say we, I mean us. We see the tweets and we see the Instagrams and we'll be like, "Damn, that's messed up how they did them." Don't even
Mhm.
know the whole story.
Don't even
Don't even
know.
know the backstory. And then a lot of times we react. And again, I'm speaking generally, y'all. But a lot of times we react, and then we have to come back later and be like, "Oh, that's what happened. Oh, okay. Oh, well, nah, then that was wrong." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because even though I do celebrity news and gossip, some stories I just stay away from until I wait a couple of days. I be like, I ain't jumping out the window on this one.
Right.
Okay.
And sometimes you need to, and it calls for that. Sometimes you need to say,
Yeah.
wait, a minute, let me take, hold on, because I know exactly what you're talking about. Really, be a lot of time. Hell, I've been through stuff myself where I'd be like, you don't even know the whole story. You just reacted on the salaciousness of it all and
Mm-hmm.
see, and don't even know what the real situation is, and so forth. So I definitely understand that. I mean, I was like, that whole situation with Crenshaw made me mad. That angered me. That was the one part of the episode that angered me. I was like, bitch.
What you talking
Yeah.
about? Like,
And like I said, I didn't think that Issa was wrong for responding the way she responded because I don't think she was wrong for what she said.
mm-hmm.
That's just my two cents.
Period. No, you saying the real. Like that threw me off with the show. I was like, what? Now Not when you to see this dude. I'd have been like, Nathan, get him. Like,
Right, right. Okay. Because, like I said, I understand the whole, you know, she's being true to her vision and it was about giving back to the community. But I feel like that's what she did. I feel like even if they had to cut things out of the presentation, I feel like she still was remaining true to the vision of what she said she wanted to do with her company. Because look at the platform she gave this man.
hmm right, ungrateful.
I'm very ungrateful.
Yeah.
Very.
So
Wait a
I don't
minute.
know.
Somebody said what happened to Andrew was Andrew. Wait, whose friend was Andrew?
Andrew was Molly's ex-boyfriend that was friends with Nathan. Remember, that's when Nathan was living with
Oh yeah,
Hazel
yeah, yeah, yeah. Nathan met. I mean, Molly met Andrew
through
from
Nathan.
Nathan,
Right.
and they were asking why Nathan wasn't there. That's a good. Why Andrew wasn't there? That's a good question. I don't know. I
Andrew
don't
was off
know.
his new boo because he ain't had time for Molly and her shenanigans.
Oh,
Ooh, okay, well.
I don't think that Molly would have been invited if Andrew was coming.
I don't think Andrew cared. Like, I don't feel like Andrew would avoid going somewhere with the thought that Molly
I
might
don't
be
think it would
there.
have been Andrew. I think it would have been
I
Nathan
think it
that
would
would
have
have
right.
been
I think it would have been Molly. If Molly saw Andrew, I'm wondering if there would have been any sort of
Which boyfriend was this? Which boyfriend was Andrew?
the
there. That's
Asian
Asian.
Bay.
Asian babe was there.
No,
No,
he
that's what we
wasn't
were
there.
saying.
But
Where was
remember,
he?
Asia Bay and Nathan are friends.
Oh, okay. Oh.
But that's what I'm saying. If Asian Bay was coming, I don't think Nathan would have invited Issa and Molly.
Hmm.
I don't think Andrew would have had a problem. But if I'm Nathan, I don't think Nathan would have. Nathan would have been like, I want this to be a good time.
Right.
Nope.
We need
No.
no
Or
drama.
he could have told Issa, listen, Issa, you can come. But Molly, I don't know what her and Andrew got going on. Mm-mm. Too soon. I don't need all that down here. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
So let's get to the real head. There were two big pieces. Will save the part with Issa and Nathan on this hill or mountaintop or wherever the fuck they was with that level brain of fuckery. But let's talk about all of this stuff that we learned with from the cousin, his wife, Nathan when he stayed with them, and all of that. You know, we found out that Nathan stayed with them, and Nathan was a mess. Nathan was manic. Nathan, had a lot going on. He would come in at any hour of the night, leave the door unlocked and open, and all kinds of stuff.
With the
And
kids
they,
in the house.
with kids in the house, and they threw him out. And he thought it was the wife, and come to find out that it wasn't the wife, it was actually his cousin, and they put it off as being a wife because the wife said it'll be better. Um,
Now that's a
if,
ride or die. The ride or die was like, listen, I don't even want your blood to be mad at you. You can put it on
right,
me.
that was a
You
good
put it
wife.
on
I was here
me.
for the wife. The wife was good because the wife said, "Let me take this. I'll take this blow for
She
you.
was like, I take the hit.
I'll mess up
I
what you
take
got
the
going
hit.
on with your family. I'll take that hit for you. Say it
Mm-hmm.
with me that I had a problem with it, and that's why you got to kick your cousin out." When in all actuality, it was him. And he came and told Nathan, nah, bro, that was just what we told you. No, it was me. I didn't want you up. Nigga, I got kids. And you leaving my house
Right.
a lot. Nigga, I got kids. You coming in at 4 in the morning. I
Leaving
have
the
a
door
wife,
unlocked. I'm like, child.
and that is real. You're not coming in my house all time of night. And I got kids and a fucking wife because I don't know who the fuck this is. And then you leaving my house unlocked and all kind of shit. Nah, bro, I love you down. But we're not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love my wife and my kids much more than I love you. Sorry, not sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say this: people with mental illness, it's very similar with, at least let me not make that broad statement. Nathan. I feel like Nathan is handling this situation very similar to some people who have addictions and they get clean. When you have an addiction and you are out here in your addiction and you are stealing from people, lying to people, manipulating people, you're doing whatever it is that you need to do to get high. Now, when you get clean and you don't go through that process of acknowledging what you did, acknowledging the hurt, acknowledging that the effect of your bad behavior on other people, then it's always that issue of why you got to keep bringing my past up? Why you got to keep, you just trying to bring me down? No, no, no. I need you to understand and accept that what you did, how it affected me and how we got to where we are. And I
Mm.
feel like that's how Nathan is handling this mental illness. You can acknowledge that you were in the throes of a manic of being manic when you were living with them. You weren't diagnosed at the time, so you didn't know. But now you know. And I feel like that's the conversation he needs to have with them. But what you thought was, well, I'm just going to invite you to my party. You're going to see that I've got this great life. You're going to see that I've started a business. And clearly I'm stable because I've been able to maintain a business for a whole year. Ooh, a
Ooh,
whole 12 months.
ooh, oh yeah,
You know what
I
I'm saying?
yeah.
Right. And then he got disappointed because the cousin didn't give him what he was looking for. But I feel like the cousin gave you a lot based on the fact that he don't know shit. He doesn't know that you've been diagnosed. He doesn't know that you're on medication. He doesn't know that there was a reason for your behavior. He just thinks, oh, well, maybe Nathan is settling down. He doesn't know that there was a you know what I'm saying, that there was a
Right.
chemical situation there. And I think that that's the problem. So now you in your feelings and you playing the woe is me. They just don't understand and they didn't give me what I was looking for. What was the cut? Like, I feel like the fact that they showed up, the fact that the wife was like, nah, I'll go relieve the babysitter. You hang out with your cousin. Y'all have a good time. I feel like they did as much as they could do with the
Mhm.
information they had.
Yeah.
I think they went above and beyond based on everything. I think they did pretty good. And he was on his feet
He was in his
unless
feelings.
there's something else, unless he did tell them at some point and we just don't know about it, you know. But I felt like they did more than I probably would have did. I,
Exactly, Monica. Nathan probably is embarrassed, and I get that. I understand that. If you, but again, I'll use the same example. People who were strung out on drugs and did some fucked up things to stay high are embarrassed as well. But again, we can't gloss over that shit. It happened, and
Yeah.
it's a part of our story. So I get it that you're
Yeah.
embarrassed, but we can't gloss over it. We can't pretend like
Unless something had happened during your time of, somebody, you left the door unlocked, somebody could have came in, or whoever, whatever you was doing, got something happened to that family, it'll be a different story, and you'll be thinking about that for the rest of your life. So it's like, yeah, this stuff is serious. I mean, yeah, they kicked you out, but you had to go because you was
yeah.
bringing toxicity
Yeah,
in that
and I don't
family.
think that I think he accepts the fact that it had to happen. Like, I think
Yeah.
he, but again, you have to. It's not fair to expect a reaction from me, and you don't give me all the information.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not fair to me.
and
And I feel like
and
now you.
I don't want to make it one side. I do understand. I understand what you're saying. I understand Nathan as well. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? That you certainly have gone through a lot and been through a lot, and even coming to the realization that you do have an issue, a chemical imbalance, and all kinds of things that may be going on with you, and you grappling with that and getting on the other side of that to where you can, be productive and have that under control, but yet and still your react you can't dictate how somebody else chooses to react to it. Technically, if he didn't tell them before, they still don't know.
That's what.
Mm.
But he said that to Issa. They don't know.
They
Because when he
still
was talking
don't
to
know.
Issa, he said that. He said, that was before I was diagnosed, yada yada. They don't know. He said, I just want them to see me. But
They
you didn't
don't
have the
know.
right.
You gotta
You
open up
needed to
more.
go over to their house, sit down with them, and have an honest conversation with them. Like, I feel like you owe
Hmm.
him that.
And I feel like even them coming to this event shows that they are willing to sit down
Yeah,
and have the conversation,
I
but
agree.
you need to have the courage and strength enough to say, I don't think that this was the right forum for you to do that. You know,
Hmm.
even before you had them come up to this event, you should have called your cousin and said, "Hey, cuz, I just want to come and sit down and have a conversation. Can we do that?" You know what I'm saying? And if you love your cousin, this man done took you into his home with his wife and children and
Hmm.
stuff like that. And knowing what you know now, this has been going on for a year at least now. You should have sat down with that man and said, "This is what's going on. I want to sit down with you and your wife and have a conversation. Hey, I know when I was with y'all, it was a lot. But
Right.
I just found out that there's a reason for this. I was diagnosed with dot 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 dot. That's why. And I just want y'all to know I'm on the other side of that. I'm working through that and my life is a lot better. And I just want to, I apologize to y'all for all that I put y'all through because I know it was a lot. And everybody can do, and I'm eternally grateful that y'all put up with everything that you all put up with dealing with me. I didn't even know what was going on with me at that time, and y'all still took me in and put up with everything. And I don't blame y'all because y'all had to, because I might have put my own stuff out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But at least have that conversation with them. And then after you have that conversation, at the end of that conversation, you can say, "But I just want y'all to know my life has really turned around. I'm having a 1 year anniversary for this barbershop that I opened and it's successful and my life done turned around. And I just want y'all to come out and celebrate with me because without y'all, I might not have even gotten to this point."
Communication is key, and it lacks a lot in a lot of communities. We don't talk. Stuff is taboo. You don't want to bring things up, and I think we need to change that. And let me not like really be said. That's not generalized too much, but I'm just saying like communication is key.
No,
And
I
I
Because
agree.
think
Yeah, I agree.
now
And
someone said we have to create a safe space to even have a discussion. I do kind of feel like the cousin and the wife was kind of like making things seem like everything's okay, but like not really. You get what I'm saying? Like I felt like it was a job to hang out with Nathan.
and again, I feel like the onus is on Nathan to create. Like again, I think the onus is on Nathan to create that space. I
Hmm.
just feel like because again, he's the one. They didn't. I don't feel like they did anything wrong. So why
I
do
felt like
they
they didn't
have
want to
to
be
create
there.
this?
Like it seemed
Like
like it
they
was a
don't
past.
know. They don't even know that there's an issue there. So why
Hmm.
is the? I wouldn't think that the onus is on them to create a safe space. A safe space for what? From where they're sitting, my irresponsible cousin showed up out of the clear blue, needed a place to stay. Because remember, that's what the cousin said too. He said you just showed up out of nowhere, so you didn't even. This wasn't even an arranged thing. You just showed up. We gave you a place to stay. And while I gave you a place to stay, not only did you put me and my family in danger, because you would walk out the house in the middle of the night and leave the door unlocked, you would disappear for weeks at a time. We didn't know where you were, who you were with, and what was going on. Like, I don't think that they're wrong for saying,
there,
listen, you know, I still love you as family, but you can't stay here anymore. And so now that Nathan knows, listen, this wasn't me just wilding out and being a crazy, young dude that didn't give
Hmm.
a F. There was a reason. And I just think that I just feel like him going past the house or calling first, let's just call first, but him going past the house, sitting down and saying, hey, this is what it is. This is what it happened. And now we're trying to rebuild that relationship. Then I could see, okay, they kind of because they have all of the information, but they don't
Right.
they don't have
But
that.
the thing about it is, too, Monica, it didn't start with the cousin and the wife. His other friends were telling stories. Well, Nathan was wild and stuff like that. It didn't start with the cousin and the wife telling stories. It started with the other friends that he came there with that was at the beach with him telling the stories first about how what, and that's when the cousin and the wife got it, a part of the conversation then. They didn't start that conversation. They just, were adding
Hmm.
to what was being said during the whole conversation. They were adding to the conversation.
And I still say, because again, maybe I'm internalizing, but me and my family do that shit all the time. Some of the things that they think are the funniest jokes, I don't find that amusing. But they're jokes of
That's
us as
true.
kids. There might be things that are embarrassing, but that's what families do. We joke with each other. Remember that time, you went swimming and you
Mhm,
got out the water and your swim trunks fell down. That was
mhm,
probably one of the most embarrassing moments to you, but your family thought this shit was hilarious. Like that's what
mhm.
family does. So I still don't feel like,
And you sitting there
again,
cringing inside.
they're
Fuck every
joking.
time.
Right. He said you left me at South by Southwest. I like one of the biggest jokes in my family is the time when I left my sister at the mall. I told my sister to be ready to leave at a certain time and she wasn't. I left her at the mall and my mama made me go back and get her. But that is like we joke about that shit all the time. They be like, "Yeah, remember that time? Remember that time she left y'all at the mall?" Like it's a
Child,
joke.
Monica said Velma came in making jokes. Milk carton in Prison Bay. He do look like prison. That was another
He
thing
do
too.
look like prison play.
Yo, I was like, oh my goodness.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, Monica. I do, but again,
Hmm.
if it, I can see if Nathan. Now, let me tell you what would change my whole mindset is if Nathan said, "I went to them after my diagnosis and I explained and I apologized."
Mhm.
And if they still had this attitude, then I would say, okay. But
Yeah,
they
but
don't
they
have
don't
all the
know.
tools.
They,
Also with them family jokes. Now you know they don't make you don't make no family jokes when people that are not families around.
Shit, Mondo.
no,
Ooh,
my
oh,
family will make a joke about your most embarrassing moment in public around strangers at all. Matter of fact, they
uh,
might lead into a conversation with strangers about that. This my nephew so and so. Child, let me tell you about the time when he's such and such, and you over there cringing like, bitch. Hey,
And
no.
again, I know it varies family by family, but let me
At
tell
least
you
my
something.
family, that's how they are.
That's what I was gonna say. In my family, child, because here's the thing: if you bring them around us, you already know what's about to happen.
I
So
mhm.
I'm just telling
anybody who I bring around my family, I have to have a whole conversation with them ahead of time. Hey, baby, let me
Don't
understand.
bring this up. Don't bring look.
You want to go around my family?
listen. I be
No,
giving
no, no.
them
I have to tell
quizzes.
you this. Let me help you understand something. They're going to come for you.
Exactly.
You think, and I have to tell this to the gays that go around my family. You think you know how to read, baby? The people in
Ooh.
my family are professional. They cut the
Listen,
core. Okay,
I
they
got to
gonna
get
get
people
all of that.
together.
That don't mean they don't love you now, baby. They gonna read you down and fix you a plate
Listen,
simultaneously
and I be
and make
getting them
sure you all
together.
right
And I be getting them together. I be
and
like,
ask
listen,
you if you okay. But they gonna
right?
read you
I'm
down.
just,
Baby, they gonna
listen.
read you down.
That's how we roll in my family. Listen, I be like, that's my drunk uncle. After he's had 3 beers, don't pay attention to nothing he says. I'm
Child did
telling
a
you
did
now,
a-
it's just gonna come out raw, down and dirty. I mean, even my grandmother, before she passed away, listen, the minute if you walked into her house, you were family, and she talked to you just like she talked to everybody else. And I promise you, if you was doing or saying something, my grandmama would walk up to strangers. So I know anybody in her house is subject to the same. I mean, and again, I know families are different. So different
mhm.
families are different. But in my family, I mean, joking about stuff that
Listen, one
again,
of my first conversations that one of my exes went to like an event with my family with me one time, meets my uncle. The first thing, hey, what's going on? What's going on, son? So do you take the dick in the booty or are you sticking your dick in his booty? That was the first, that was the introduction.
Now see,
That said, so how that feel?
child.
How that feel? Because if you taking the dick in the booty, I imagine that hurt. You kind of big one over here, because you can't be hurt my nephew like that. He ain't but so big. And I'm over here cringing like,
now I will
Wow.
say this. Now I will say this. We have family members who have dealt with addiction. We would never put
Hmm.
that kind of stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? We would never
yeah,
make
now
jokes.
that is
We wouldn't do
within
that.
the
But
family. That's
again,
only within the family, yeah.
that's once we know. If we don't know, because
Mm.
my best friend, and those of you who watch my channel, y'all know my best friend's mother deals with mental. Well, she's passed now, but she dealt with mental illness, and I promise you, this shit wasn't funny in the moment. But when I tell you that we have some of the best laughs with some of the shit that her mama used to do when she was in the throes of her, because she was manic
Mhm.
as well, manic. She was bipolar. Baby, some of the stories. that we tell are absolutely hilarious, and we can laugh about them now. But in the moment, this
Xavier.
shit wasn't funny.
In the moment,
No,
it's
Jay,
funny. Yeah.
what's so funny is that ex talks to my family more than he talks to me. Like that ex in my family is
They
still
cool.
like they act
Uh-huh.
like he's a member of the family, and that bitch talk to my family more than he talk to me. And they will say any and everything to him and Xavier. Please be clear. That's how my family is. They gonna read you down. But once you in the family, it's like you have a lifetime exemption. You baby, come on now. I know you
Right.
ain't
So
him no more. You
I
still
understand what
show
you're
around.
saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I just think in this case, I think a simple conversation that Nathan would have with his family would change.
Yeah, it would have
I
changed the whole
Because
dynamic.
again, I feel like the fact that they showed up for him tells me that
Hmm.
they still support him. They still want to be there for him. They just don't have all the facts.
So what we think about Issa and Nathan deciding to
Boo.
done this whole deal, girl.
No, I think something annoying is going to happen, and it's going to be really soon, and they're going to break up again. I will put money on that because these two, like I like Nathan for Issa and vice
I
versa.
like Issa for Nathan.
But like I feel like they got too many complications to be getting into things. Like
Issa
Issa got
is the
her own
guy. Issa is still too in love with Lawrence
Yeah,
to me.
Issa's in love with Lawrence, and Lawrence is in love with Issa. Like, let's
Mhm.
be clear, Lawrence.
I
Issa,
don't know. I
you don't think
mean,
Lawrence is in love with Issa?
all right, like when he tried to try to ask like how's everybody doing, trying to figure out about what Issa doing. There's still could be something there, but I think they kind of moved on. Like
I don't think so.
I get that
I
vibe.
think they've moved
I
on,
think
but they
Nate,
haven't moved
I
on.
think Lawrence is still in love with Issa.
He's still in love with
Lawrence
Issa.
wasn't brought up by Issa at all last episode.
Yeah. No, he wasn't. He didn't have time to be worried about Issa this last episode. He was too busy flying back and
No, I
forth
said brought
dealing
up.
with the baby.
No, I meant brought up by Issa. Like there was not a thought. There wasn't a little
But
some.
again, we're looking at a year later. I don't.
Hmm.
I might still be heartbroken about a past relationship, and I don't bring them up every day a year later either. We're talking
Okay.
about a year later. You know what I mean? Like we've moved. And again, I still think that this is a knee jerk reaction to seeing Nathan with Conk. I got that one out the chat with Conk and that baby looking like one big happy family down to the birthday party. I still think that's what this is. I think in this year, Issa has not met another man. It's just Nathan, and they've built this friendship, and I think that she is blurring friendship with that with what it is that she's looking for.
what Xavier said Issa is gonna cheat with Crenshaw.
Oh Lord.
If Issa cheat with Crenshaw, I swear to God.
Child,
Listen, we gonna
we're
come on this
on.
live, y'all.
Like I
And
might
You
have
know
to
what?
call.
I could see it. I could see
I'm
them
gonna
getting
have
into
a
this
whole
argument.
10-minute meltdown. I'm gonna have a whole 10-minute meltdown.
Now
But
Monica
I can
said.
see
Monica
that,
said.
Darren. I can see
Huh?
that, Darren.
Monica said. Lawrence loves Issa. He told Kadota she blew up his life. Now let me respond to that though. I feel like she blew up his life, giving him like a child. I think having a that's yeah, that could have been okay. He could have been talking about Issa there too, but like having a child and having to go back and forth and have a life and having a work life and then coming home and being a father and then you already being like that was blowing up his life.
Yeah. A
I
child he
mean,
didn't want.
I mean, and that now,
A child he didn't want, and a
let's
child
be
she said she didn't want. Remember, Condola said
right.
she didn't want children.
Honda Reservoir knew what she was doing. That was the whole reason she broke up with the husband. Cause she said she didn't want no goddamn kid. But now all of a sudden you have a kid with Lawrence and you want to have them?
And remember, Lawrence was the jump off. Like you didn't even want to bring him around your friends.
Right.
Not jump off. Ah,
Well,
child. My thing is, it. Let me just say this: it can still work out if they really wanted to be in a relationship. It can still work out.
nah.
Now, not a lot of people like the blended family, but look, let me tell you something. It's 2021. There's
Oh,
going to be a
Issa
lot of
and
blended
Lawrence
families.
absolutely could have worked out, but Issa doesn't want that.
I disagree. I
So
think
then
they
move
can.
on.
I think they can find their way back to each other. But I think that if Lawrence and Issa had tried to make this long distance relationship work, and throwing into mix what we saw in that last episode, with Connect Four and that baby, that would not have worked. That would have been a total fucking disaster. So I think them taking this time away from each other, and I think that, because let's be clear, Issa needed to do all the things Issa's doing right now, finding her purpose, building her company, doing it without worrying about, dealing with a bunch of niggas and nigga shit. I think Lawrence is, even though, because I think Lawrence is going to move back to LA. I think
You
Lawrence is
think
moving
so?
back. I do. I think Lawrence is moving back to LA because I think he's serious about wanting to be a part of his child's life. But I also think he's realizing it's not going to work long distance. It's just
But
not.
the other thing about it, and he should also know that Cotton Fields is not gonna give him is no parts of really having parts of that baby's life outside of a court order.
But it's damn sure not going to happen long distance.
Yeah,
I
Cotton Fields.
because here's what he has to do. He has to build up her trust
Hmm.
that he's going to be there and that he's going to be consistent in that. And again, I'm not saying, y'all know how I felt about that episode last week. I'm not saying that I agree with her mindset, but if we think she wasn't even comfortable with Lawrence taking the baby down the street to a good old Airbnb for a weekend. Well, not even a weekend, overnight.
Hmm.
She When is she ever going to be comfortable with him getting on a plane, with the baby getting
She's
on a
never
plane?
going to be, and that's why I think
That's why he's coming back
he
to
needs
LA.
to take Cantonese cuisine down to the courthouse and have a judge adjudicate. On listen, y'all need to have equal. You
Hmm.
know, um, what they call it, equal custody of the child.
We can start thinking about that if he moves back to LA, because that
Yeah, he
whole
has to,
flight
but
thing.
I think he's going to. I think he's coming back to LA. And I think that's when we're going to start seeing him and Issa, because let's be clear, him living in San Francisco has been great for them to be able to avoid each other. They do have the same friend
Mhm.
group, but if Lawrence was hardly ever coming back to San Francisco, then he was missing out on the random get-togethers and movie
Hmm.
nights and game night. Like, he wasn't part of all of that, so he probably hadn't really run into Issa in the last year. But like I said, I fully believe Issa came to that damn birthday party. I absolutely believe
Hmm.
she did.
Yeah.
I don't know, y'all.
Or
I
Lawrence.
just don't think that would have. I don't think that Tiffany's having a whole birthday party at Issa and Molly just don't come. They were at the baby shower. That's their road dog. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no way you can make me believe that.
And it's
So I,
now, and even if we saw Molly but didn't see Issa, I would say, okay, well, maybe Issa, maybe Issa did skip it, but both of them wouldn't have skipped it. Both
mm,
of them wouldn't have skipped it. I feel like they
eh,
showed up together. Issa
mhm.
Issa saw that first shot of what we saw, with them standing there looking all, happy, that we've got our family and smiling and shit. And Issa left before the blow up. That's what I believe happened. And Molly went with her because Molly got her back. They left they presents on the table and they rolled out. And I feel like we're going to see that in a flashback. I feel like we
That's
and
what I'm saying. I feel
I
like
feel
that.
like we're going to see what happened in a flashback.
I'm gonna
There,
need some dramatic drama from this season as of this point. Like, I need something. Not saying someone gotta die or anything like that, or somebody gotta get jumped or fight or anything. I just
but I
need.
feel like something next episode is going to happen. I don't know if somebody's going to die, but from
It
the
looks
look.
like Molly's mom dies or is really, really sick. It looks like Molly's mom.
Oh, see, and I didn't see the sneak peek.
The
Yeah.
sneak peek, I didn't get that Molly's mom. I just saw that something happened to somebody, and they were like, "Wait, what?"
I think it's Molly's mom because you see it's her family at the hospital and we see her father, but we don't see her mother.
Mm.
And I feel like she even said, "Dad, where's mom?" or "Dad, have you talked?" I feel like
I mean, it would make sense because remember, Molly was having that whole conversation with her
about
mom,
estate planning.
all about making sure you get all your, affairs in order. We may see a return of what's the tall light skinned dude name that was banging Molly's back out that was married.
Who was that guy?
Sarunas, I can't think of the guy's name. Y'all know who I'm talking. He play on games people play, don't he? Really be?
You playing what?
He played on one of the BET shows. But the tall guy, the
Well,
tall kid dude that was married and was blowing Molly's back out, drove. Thank you,
Yeah,
Xavier.
he's
Drove.
on games people play.
James people play, yeah.
oh, that dude.
He said,
Like,
"Oh, that dude."
I
nah,
think
nah,
we
nah,
see him
nah,
come back.
nah, nah.
We bringing everybody back. It's a final season. We
I
bringing
mean, it's
everybody.
the final season.
I mean, you
'Cause-
might as well bring my frat brother back. I don't even remember his name, but my frat brother who nutted on, he said, got all confused because he nutted in her face. And bitch, you know you down there sucking dick. And if you suck a dick, there's probably a good possibility that it's gonna get in your
But
mouth
that was
or
that dark skinned dude, right?
you down there. Yeah.
He was alright. I didn't like him that much. He seemed a little.
But I think we're gonna see him again. We might as well. We just all ended. I mean, I don't remember his name on the show. I know his real name is Elon Noel. He's Haitian. He's a Kappa. He played. I think he plays UCLA.
Mm.
Daniel was his name. Daniel. Thank you, Xavier. You know our subscribers to the college. They don't fuck off. They be on it. They know all. They are fact checked. They do not.
Okay.
But
She
did it?
moved.
Did we figure out how many episodes there are? Did y'all say it was 10 episodes?
I don't know. Let me look at comment. I'm on my computer.
I
I can.
think last time we were on, they told us how many episodes it was.
I thought it was 10, but don't quote me, y'all, because shit, I don't know.
Oh, I was about to get real scared. I'm like, I looked. They said 38, but that's all together, like all the season. I'm like, girl, what? Not a long. We love this. No, but it's supposed to be. It's not showing up. Why don't they see? Issa don't be letting people know shit.
Everybody in the chat saying 10.
Yeah, that's probably. I could believe 10.
That's probably right.
So yeah, good. That's a good season. I mean, and we're getting it weekly. So that's like what? That's a couple months, right?
Yeah. I mean, we on episode 4. That'll take us to the end of the year.
Yeah. And they might don't they do breaks on the holidays? Like, are we even gonna get a new episode? Because Black Friday. Oh no, actually no, it's gonna be on Sunday. Right, it comes out on
We'll
Sunday.
probably get one on Sunday. I think
Yeah.
like the Thursday, Friday shows are and Wednesday shows are usually a little iffy.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. But with a Sunday show, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, I think you're
Anyway,
gonna get the drama you're looking for next week, Darren.
hopefully, because I need something. I need a little bit. I need some plot. I need something that's gonna be like, ooh, oh my god.
Yeah, it looks like that's next week, baby. We gonna get something next week, child.
Mm.
yeah. We'll see. Final thoughts on this episode?
I
Like
liked it.
okay, yeah, I liked it. Like I said, it was a high C 79. We got a good little moment. It was a little bit of funny.
December 26th is the last episode. Monica said to ruin our holiday.
Oh,
Right after Christmas. Okay.
Right. Yeah, because Christmas is a Saturday this year. So
Mm.
this
But
year
my birthday
Halloween fell on
down.
a weekend.
Right. That week is gonna be crazy too because Spider-Man No Way Home is coming out. I don't know if y'all into MCU stuff like Marvel and all that.
Listen, they lost me 5 Spider-Mans ago. I
Not
don't.
they lost.
Listen, no,
Look, they're all coming back.
listen. Spider-Man has always been my least favorite um comic book.
Marvel.
I've never liked Spider-Man. Never.
I
Ever liked
remember Spider-Man from the
I've
Electric Company.
never
I remember
been
Spider-Man
into
on the Electric Company.
Right. I've never gotten into the Spider-Man franchise. He's the one that I do not like. I don't want any parts of Spider-Man.
That's how I
No.
feel about Batman. I know people gonna be mad about that, but that's how I feel about Batman.
Yes.
He's really not my favorite.
They keep on bringing him back. I mean, I get it. Robert Pattinson playing him, like, ooh, Robert Pattinson. That's like, because I'm a big Twilight fan. But
Oh,
like
is that's who's playing the new Spider-Man?
Edward,
Edward. I didn't really get into the whole Twilight thing either. I saw the movies, but
oh my god. Well, what else everybody
they
watching since
lost
we
me
here?
in that last one when they was drinking the blood. I couldn't do it. I was like,
What else
he was
everybody
drinking
watching?
like
Are
a
we watching
Slurpee.
the all do you watch Housewives, reality TV Bravo?
Yeah.
Because I know they're all stars and
Yeah, and they been wanting me to review it. I might catch it this weekend, but I got
It's
Yeah.
on Peacock. I'm like,
I haven't even watched the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. I watched the whole season, but
mhm.
I ain't watched none of the reunion yet.
Oh, I've been
From
watching them because I'm ready for Nikki. Because you know,
so
Yeah, Nikki, I think is on the final one. So
hmm
I I just finished the latest episode of season of Big Mouth. I love Big Mouth.
I love that show too. Yeah, I finished
And
it.
the new season just dropped last week. I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay.
watch Tiger King this weekend. So I did a review for all of season one. So I'm gonna watch season two and see if I need to do a review of season two on Tiger King.
You know your
Um,
girl?
why is really be like,
What?
no, it's some on my ceiling, and I'm trying to see.
Oh, I've been watching. Recently, I've been watching Sex Education. That's another show on.
oh, you listen. I'm a huge sex education fan. I've been following this since the first season. Me and Ismi D did a whole live about season. This is season three,
Uh
and I think
huh.
this is season three, the current
I
season.
just started watching it, so I'm on season one. So it's really
Oh
good.
yeah, listen, it's great.
Uh
They
huh.
never get it wrong. They do not get it wrong. No, just know it's good it gets better and better every season. Sex education.
That's what my college roommate told me. He said it gets better every season. It doesn't lack. Like,
Every season they do
uh
not point on sex education.
Well,
Child.
I don't know nothing about none of that.
Because my boy Eric, even though my boy Eric pisses me off, the black boy,
huh.
the black Nigerian Haitian, Nigerian gay boy,
Mm-hmm.
pisses me off every season. They still don't get it wrong every season.
Yeah.
Damn, little baby, you got a whole list.
Not little
What?
baby. I need to finish up on
I heard this season of Narcos is good.
Burger
You know what? I couldn't
King.
get into Narcos because I can't stare at the screen the whole time and read the subtitles. I just
And I
can't.
have to finish Doom. I don't like Doom. I could not finish that movie.
King Richard came out today. I am going to watch King Richard. I am going to watch King Richard.
I probably
Hmm.
watch King Richard.
What's this other show I was watching? I just had it in my head and I forgot.
He
I'm
do,
trying to figure out something.
but no, Xavier. Remember, he made me mad with the Raheem situation from season two. Child, I ain't gonna ruin it for Darren. You ain't gonna remember, but you just
Right. Yeah, let
don't
me.
understand what I'm saying. Child, because
Doom Part Two will be
Raheem,
better than Doom Part One. Okay, let me. Okay, now I gotta watch the first one. I gotta.
that Raheem on Sex Education season two. Child.
My
Mm.
thing is the whole thing about Doom. Everybody talk about Zendaya. They said Zendaya was only there for 2 seconds. I'm like, what I'm watching this for? I feel like they typecasting her though. Like they're really typecasting Zendaya
Probably.
because she played the same character and everything. Like Euphoria, because I watched that show too. Like even when she plays like MJ on Spider Man, she kind of act dopey and like even this other thing that she's in. Like I'm like, she played the same character. Now she probably played differently in Doom because this is more like science fiction or some shit like that. But like, I don't know. I know she has the range. Like, it's no question.
Well,
She's gonna
I
have the main part.
probably maybe sometime next week we'll do a Netflix and chill. We got a lot of Netflix shows to do. We got to do
Yeah.
Past. We got to do The Harder They Fall. We
Hmm.
got Colin in Black and White. Those three we know we're gonna do
I
on.
finished Colin.
Huh?
I top
You
child.
Colin in Black and White?
Huh?
Did you watch Colin in Black and White?
Yes.
It was. We got to talk about that. We're going to talk about The Harder They Fall, and we're going to talk about Passing. Did you watch Passing yet? Really? V?
What's that about?
I don't know.
Abby
It's
watched it.
That's a lot of shows I
about
gotta keep. I gotta set. Hold on. Let me see.
it's
You know,
about this black lady who passes for white and is married to. It's a whole
mhm.
situation, but it doesn't go down the road you think it's gonna go, and the ending makes you go, "Ooh."
The
I was
Harder
here
They
for the whole
Fall. I gotta watch that.
passing. I
Yeah.
was here.
Mm. All right. Well,
We about to get off here, y'all. Really be anything last words?
no, thank you for having me.
And you notice I didn't even threaten to throw you off my channel like you
I
do
don't
me.
threaten to throw you off as long as you know how to act.
Mm,
Oh,
mm. You don't be knowing how to act, but I'll never threaten to throw you off.
That's a lie. That is a lie. That is a whole lie.
oh. Now,
I'm
Anyway,
always on good behavior when I'm over in your room.
whatever. Nobody believes that even in the chat, okay?
The
Darren
chat,
is
excuse
that
me,
first
chat.
for the people.
Listen, a lot of your chat be on my chat. Please write in the chat who cuts up more, me when I'm on El Teddy's channel or El Teddy when he is on my channel. Please, please.
We'll wait. We'll wait. Darren, you have anything for the people? You have some work for the people.
none. Thank you so much for hearing me out on these topics. Had a great time on the show. You know, I always love going live. Feel like I don't talk. I'm not on here too much, but thank you so much
No,
for
we
having me.
appreciate you coming through. I
Oh
appreciate
no,
your point
no,
of
we
view.
definitely appreciate it. Listen, we
Hmm.
our kind of people this week either really be.
Did you watch it?
I did watch it. I
Or
did.
maybe well, we'll talk. Let me see what your weekend. My weekend is kind of real flexible, so maybe we can get it in this weekend at some point.
Okay. All right. Because our kind of people was a whole lot this week again.
Thank you, Monica. El Teddy is a whole cut up. Thank you.
Monica, that's not fair. That's not fair. It's really not fair. It's really not fair. Just really, that's what we're doing, Monica. Ciao.
Xavier, the lies you tell.
Right. It's getting better. How? Where?
Again, they've got some really great storylines. They're
Hmm.
just doing too much at one time because listen, the storylines are actually pretty interesting. They're just throwing all the shit at the wall and seeing what sticks though.
I just realized, dude, from that's the daddy or our kind of people, the same dude from Queen Sugar. I was like, oh, that is the dude.
What dude from Queen Sugar?
The dude with Nova neighbor.
Oh, that's the same dude.
That's the same dude.
Oh.
Hmm
Well,
The daddy, Nikki Daddy or our kind of people is the same dude on
Because
Queen
when they
Sugar.
gave us that whole 10-minute interlude back to Africa explaining the hair and the
Right. I was
like I was like, are you serious? And they
like,
went and they
what?
literally went from daytime to nighttime. Like
hmm.
y'all literally went from first thing in the morning to having a whole bonfire on the beach. I was like, I cannot.
It was
A whole bonfire,
like I'm
child.
done with this. Like this is
Hold on.
stupid. Child. I was
Yeah.
like, y'all doing too much. Anyway, so y'all, that was our live reaction and review of Insecure. The fact that our live reactions be longer than the episode is
Right. How long we got? They had 30 minutes. I'm like, oh, glad it wasn't like 20 something. It's
ugh. Anyway, whose channel are we on next week? Are we back on your channel, really? Or are we on Darren?
I think it's Darren's turn.
yeah.
It's your turn, Darren. All right, we
Mhm.
back next week. Y'all go subscribe to Darren. Go hit the notification bell on Darren.
So y'all
Um,
will know
Show.
when we get ready to go live.
yes, on Darren's channel next
And
week.
y'all can also catch his other content.
Mm-hmm.
You
Because he's
know.
putting out good content.
He be down to the TikTok.
Yeah, he be on the TikTok heavy, y'all. Listen, if y'all ain't following Darren on TikTok, you are missing out. Because he be
Mm.
finding there doing the damn thing on the tick to
I
the
said I'm
top.
gonna start doing TikToks again. I put a
I
TikTok the other
haven't I
day.
have a TikTok, but I haven't did a single video on there.
Well, I
Mm.
May-
did a TikTok today, but it wasn't much. I just
They've been
put
shadow banning people. Like my posts, like, oh my God. Like, I'm like, first of all, I got this many people on there. Well, why is my videos not going out? Like, I don't know what the problem is.
Are you shadow banned?
They shadow banned me for some reason. I don't know what I did.
I'm starting to feel like I'm shadow banned on YouTube. I mean, like, damn. But anyway,
Really?
that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day, child.
Hmm.
Anyway. Well, y'all, I love y'all, love on y'all. Thank y'all for being vocal president and actor. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for being for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They're much obliged and much appreciated. Y'all know what we do over here. We'll be back next time. Until then.
Peace.
Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely, and we out here.